Hey guys, thanks for tuning into this video. Following on from the video I did on the 3 space-saving tools, today I'm going to be going over the Olympic rings. So Olympic rings are, part of suspension training, and you may have seen things like TRXs or RIP 60s and different types of suspension in the gym. So Olympic rings are very similar, but these rings, so Olympic or gymnastic rings, are definitely a lot cheaper. So if you're looking for a cheaper option, these are great. You can get them for like probably a quarter of the price of other tools, suspension tools. I'm just using a little door anchor, which goes inside the door. So if you're using it at home, you can just shove it in the door. Otherwise, you can hang it up onto obviously solid objects. You can either have wall anchors, you can hang it up on different bars, like pull-up bars. Just make sure it's a secure item that you're hanging it against. And also, if you're doing it in a door, you want to make sure, so you'll see that the door's opening away from me. You don't ever want to put it into a door that opens towards you because it can just come out and it's a little bit more dangerous. So always have it in a door that opens away from you. So the great thing about suspension training is that it trains the body, it trains the system. So instead of isolating muscles, it integrates lower body, core, and upper body in every movement. So it doesn't matter if you're doing a leg exercise, you're still going to be integrating your core and your upper body. So it's a really great way to, train coordination, train stability of your joints, to train your balance and to train coordination. So it has multiple sort of benefits to it, and it's very functional. So if you're looking to improve just your day-to-day movement, your balance, your body's ability to respond to kind of tripping and things like that, this is a really great tool to use. And you can use it every day, or you can use it as, part of a warm-up before you train, maybe leg day or upper body day. Because remember, if you can integrate your whole system, when you go and load a particular part of your body, the rest of the system's already there supporting it. So if you warm up with something like this and then you go and train your legs, the rest of your body's already connected. So it means you're going to get more benefit from leg day or leg training or upper body training. So I definitely recommend, having suspension if you do have a home gym or you want something that's, easy to store and easy to put up. You'll see I've just got it hanging like that. I can take it off, put it aside. It's really, really small, and then you can just hang it back up whenever you want to use it, or you can have it there hanging all the time. Okay, let's get started. So you'll see the door opens away from me. I'm going to pop it into the door and close the door. So it's like that. So you'll see that I've got it fairly high here. You can make the straps, you can lengthen it out depending on what you're doing. I would start with a shorter lever. So when we're looking at lever length, you want a shorter length in lever to start with because it's going to be more stable for you. And then as you get better, you can lengthen the lever, make it longer so that you have to use more control. So let's start with that mid-range. It's around about my thigh or hip. And then I'm going to step back away from the anchor point. So away from the door and away from my anchor. And then here, making sure that those hoops are nice and even. Now, if I step in under the strap like this, it's going to make the exercise harder for me. If I step away from the strap, it's going to give me less load because I'm working against my own body weight. So under is going to be harder and away is going to be a little bit easier when I'm working the upper body. Now, when I'm working the legs, if I'm close to the strap and I'm going up and down, I'm going to be using more of my legs. And if I step away from the strap and have my arms lengthened out and I just do this, I'm going to be working my legs, but I have more support through my upper body. So it'll make it a little bit easier for me. So let's start with some leg work and then we'll go into some arm work. So we'll start with the easiest version and then let's creep our way in so that you can feel how it changes. So I want you to start with your arms lengthened, and then from here, you're just going to let your hips go back and then come back up. So you'll notice that I'm just doing almost like a hip hinge exercise here, where I'm just allowing myself to sit back in a chair. So if you are someone that finds you have like creaky or sore knees, or you find squatting really hard, then this tool is fantastic to help you, stay supported and tall through that upper body, and then just find that nice hinge where we're building that awareness around the back of the legs and the glutes, and allowing our hips to relax and our knees to stay sort of over our ankles or midfoot. So just allowing yourself to do that. Now, if you want here, you can step in a tiny bit, and what you'll notice is my elbows have bent. Now, instead of me going like this into a hip hinge where my torso leans forward, I'm trying to train myself to be able to do a squat with my torso vertical, which is what we really want to try to achieve when we're doing a squat. So this tool is going to assist us to do that. So from here, we're looking at the anchor point, and as we go down, we're going down, you'll see my arms will start to lengthen. Then I'm going to push up with my feet as I come up. So my arms are lengthening out, and then I push up with my feet. Now I can step a little closer, but as I do this, I'm going to go down. My arms are lengthening up to the anchor point. You can see I'm going to a deep squat and pushing straight back up, but I'm always trying to keep my torso nice and high. So if you find that you're getting close, but then you start to compensate or do something funny like that, it means that that was maybe a bit too challenging for you this time. So you just step away from the anchor and then just go into those little baby squats just to begin with. So it's just about incrementally sort of, taking those steps. Then come in a little closer and let's look at the upper body now. So as I said, the more vertical you are, the easier it is, and the more body weight you give the strap, the harder it is. So you're going to stay nice and vertical to start, and then just lean away from the anchor point. Now, it's a little bit of a trust game. So I have to say that when I first did this, especially when I was doing it in the door, you kind of think the whole wall's going to come out and you're going to fall backwards. So just start quite tall, just so that you can really kind of trust the anchor and then bring it back in. Now, I bought that anchor up the top there. It was only a couple of dollars online. I can't remember where I bought it, but, if you look up door anchor, you'll be able to find one that you can strap it to, and it's got a nice big ball on the other side, which will keep it wedged in the door. And so we're going to go back, nice straight arms. So what we're looking for here is, as you straighten those arms out, you don't want to collapse the shoulders. So we're looking for upper body integration with the center of the body. So if we go backwards and then just kind of let everything collapse, we've actually lost that alignment in our body. So we're going to try and open the chest, look up to the anchor point, and just let your shoulders kind of sag forward, and then squeeze them together and sag forward, and just kind of do that a few times so you can feel that connection in your shoulders. Now, open that chest, connect your shoulders, and pull yourself up to the strap, and then slowly back. And this time, as you straighten your arms, see if you can keep your back connected. So don't actually let them release. So this is really building awareness around the shoulder connection, and this will help you in any kind of arm exercise. When you're doing your strength rows, when you're doing a chest press, when you're doing a push-up, if you can find this connection now, then you'll be able to then transfer it into other exercises and also into, daily life. So whether it be sport or just, working around the house. Let's do one more here, and then let's walk the feet in, and we're going to be a bit more on the angle now, and now you're going to pull up again and try to feel how it changes the effort now, because you've given up more of your body weight. And then if you turn the palms to the floor, you can do a row with the elbows wide, which is a bit harder because when our elbows go out, we have to fight that kind of that we have to resist letting our shoulders go up. So as our elbows go higher, our shoulders should go down. But what tends to happen if we're tight is as we open the elbows, the shoulders want to rise. So start with your elbows in, and then to progress the movement, open those elbows out and see if you can keep your shoulders down, and then continue the same movement, drawing those shoulders together, because we're going to recruit different parts of the shoulder if we can change the angle of the elbow. Now let's pull it up, step back a bit. So we did the squats. Now we're going to have a quick look at lunging. So the great thing about this tool is because we've got so much support with the upper body, we can really learn to lunge in a really great functional way. And it's such, lunging is so important because, walking, running, stepping, climbing, they all require that single leg action. So, it's a really important part of any kind of training. So we're going to look at the ankle. We're going to have the extended arms. Now with this, you can start with just balancing and see if you can balance. If you find you're all wobbly, connect those shoulders and just see how much better you are when you lift your chest and connect your shoulders, because now you've kicked in all of those deep stabilizing balance muscles. Now let's put the toe on the floor at the back, so not a lot of weight on it. We're just going to put a little bit of pressure on that back toe. Now just doing a little hip hinge, just allowing yourself to go up and down on that left leg. You'll see that I'm just doing the same movement I did with the squat. Now you're going to lift that back leg and see, can you balance and do the same movement? Just letting your hip hinge, trying to keep yourself balanced, make sure you're not kind of going everywhere. If you are, you can open the strap a little bit, pull against it to try to give yourself a little bit more stability. And again, you can shorten the lever to make it a little bit more stable if you need. Good. Now, if you feel really strong here, you can go a little deeper and try to find that nice depth in the movement and see if you can keep your torso really high and really tall here. Good. Let's try the other leg. So we're going to tap the toe nice and light and just slowly back. Good. You might find on one side you feel way more wobbly, and that just means that it's probably the side you don't stabilize with as much. So for me, it's my right side. So I am right-legged. I use my right leg a lot, so I have pretty good proprioception with that leg, so I can strike balls and do things like that. But as soon as I start to balance on it, it's a little bit less stable. So it's a really great exercise for me on my right leg because I'm having to really be aware to balance on that leg. I can't go as deep because I find I start to lose my form. So I'm just keeping it a little bit more shallow. And then maybe I'll do extra reps on this side as well. Good, one more. And then we're going to bring it up. And what we're going to do is turn away from the anchor point and we're going to do some chest work. And when I say chest work, with the suspension strap, you're always going to have a focus area. So you might be doing legs, you might be doing upper body, but remember, you're always going to be integrating the whole system. So even though we're working upper body, this is very much still a core exercise, and you will be integrating some of the muscles in the legs. So remember, the shorter the anchor, it's going to be easier. So I'm going to be more upright. So if I want to make this harder, I can lengthen the lever and make myself give it more of my body weight, walk underneath towards the wall or the door so that the exercise is more unstable and harder. So let's start with it nice and easy. Now, a really good cue here, just to remember, is with these straps, if you have them too high and too far away from your shoulders, it becomes harder for you to connect through the lats and the shoulder stabilizers. So bring the arms down so they're just hovering off the shoulder about an inch and keep them around that point the whole time. So as you're moving, making sure that you're not letting the arms kind of come up away too far, the strap too far away from the shoulder. And that will just make sure that you really are integrating the shoulder stabilizers and the core. So from here, we're going to go into a push-up. Now, instead of thinking about bringing your hands to your chest, I want you to think about your hands being stable and just lowering your chest down towards your hands and then pressing back out. So this is not a lowering of the chest like that, because you'll see that my whole body has kind of, I've hinged at the hip. But instead, you're going to hinge, let's say hinge from the ankle. So you're just going to let yourself fall forward at the ankle. And it doesn't matter if your heels come off slightly, if you have tight calves, but don't forcefully lift your heels. Just let them naturally come off the ground. And you let yourself lower and lift back out, pushing. And what you should feel, if you're trying to relax the body here, is you should feel there's a subtle engagement of the core during this movement. So you should feel things working all the way down through the body, but not intensely. The further back you go, the more intense it'll be. The longer the lever, the more intense. And then let's push back out. So from here, we're going to do an arm raise. So we're going to let the body fall forward. We're going to raise the arms, and we're going to make sure the head doesn't fall between the arms here. So keep your head behind the arms. You can bring your arms up as high as you can, but don't just let the head fall, because then you've lost that shoulder connection again. So we're going to try to lift the head. You'll see that my hips are coming forward. Then I lower the arms, my hips travel backwards. If I go like this and hinge, then I am working the shoulders, but I've lost the system. So we're going to draw the shoulders down, let the body fall forward in the feet. We're going to hold the position and feel the arms, shoulders, core, feel it all engaged. You can hold it there for a second if you want and bring it back down. Now you can do the same thing with the arms to the side and bring it back in. So we can change how we do it. We might want to work, I don't know, coordination and go, can we take one arm up and one arm down? Now these are really great exercises if you're a basketball player and you need to be strong in that lengthened lever. So there's lots of reasons why we would train all these different positions. Good, one more. And breathing. Really nice. Then the last one I'm going to show you is just a tricep press. So you're going to bend the elbow and you're going to push it out. And this is a really great one, because a lot of the time when people train their triceps, they really focus on just that elbow connection. But then what can happen is we can overuse that elbow joint and then get, tennis elbow and all sorts of things, golfer's elbow, that happen around that elbow joint. Now what this one does, if you lock your shoulders down and then don't let your elbows go up and down, keep them still at the same position, and then just bend at the elbow and push back out, drawing your shoulders down. So you're feeling like the movement's coming from under your shoulder, because that's actually where the tricep connects and attaches. So if you can really lock down, then you're going to be working the entire length of your tricep, which not only gives you a more functional, healthy, moving arm, but it also aesthetically gives you a much better looking arm, because you'll have a longer, leaner muscle. And you're going to draw those shoulders down and keep that torso connected so you're not popping your ribs or sticking your bottom out. One more. And press it out. Really good. So that's the end of the rings workout. And so I hope you really enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you, and enjoy.